What's going on, internet? Welcome back to the Hold That Thought podcast, where we do the exact opposite. I'm your host, Barbecue, and today we're on episode number 16. Number 16 of the Hold That Thought podcast. I didn't count the last one with my wife because that's a special bonus episode that a lot of people enjoyed. So thank you for the support when it comes to that. If you're watching on YouTube, as always, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us out. And if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you rate this podcast 5 stars. Did I say iTunes? Or Apple Podcasts. Rate this thing 5 stars. And if you're listening on Spotify, I appreciate it. So we got a good show lined up today, so let's just hop into it. Let's hop into the quick bits section. A few things happened since I've been gone. I've been trying to do these every other week instead of every week now, so I have more things to talk about, because coming up with all these stories every week is not like easy, or coming up with these topics is like not always easy. And before every podcast, or I'm trying to get back into it, before every podcast, I send out a tweet, and on my Discord, I ask people to give me comments, topics, and other things to talk about on the show. So if you see that, make sure you comment on it. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. But let's hop into these quick bits. Last week, I forgot, what day was that? Saturday. Last Saturday, Post Malone did a Pokemon Day performance. It was live on YouTube. And it was only 13 minutes. Man, I feel bad for people who got really hyped up thinking it was gonna be like a long event. And I watched the whole thing, and it was cool, but I was just like, damn, it's 13 minutes. Why is it this short? It was a really short performance, and it was shorter than, I compared it so much to the Weeknd's performance on TikTok. And the Weeknd's performance was interactive, it was long, and it was just like, he performed a lot of songs from his album. Post Malone performed like 3 or 4 songs and it was over. I was just like, what is happening? But it was still cool that I was very surprised that Pokemon decided to let Post Malone do their Pokemon Day performance, which is really cool. If you are still into Pokemon Go, I see that they're doing a lot of collaborations and trying to get people still interested in the game and in the culture. So it's really interesting that Pokemon has been like reaching out so much with how like how do I want to say this, how PC they are. It's crazy that they hopped out and got Post Malone to do this. I'm sorry if I'm like thinking a lot. I'm trying to figure out a good way to say that they are pretty much stingy and don't like really impact our culture that much, but they have. So shout out to Pokemon for doing that. Next story is Texas and Mississippi have lifted the mask laws or rules, whatever, the mask ordinance in their states. So if you go to Texas, I don't know when this takes effect, but if you go to Texas or Mississippi, you don't have to wear a mask except for in federal buildings now. So I guess the whole panoramic is over and we don't have to wear a mask anymore in those 2 states. But unless you go to a federal building, you need to wear a mask. So good luck with the COVID numbers there, with all the new strains and everything coming out. It's kind of interesting that they chose now to get rid of their mask ordinances. And honestly, I see this spreading to other places. They're gonna be like, oh well, they might have been having a lot of problems with people not wearing masks and like call the police on people not wearing masks. It hasn't been that bad down here. Granted, in South Carolina, this state's pretty much opened up. People wear masks sometimes to go in stores and some people don't. Like, I'll go into Walmart and I'll be like, at least like 80% of the people in here aren't wearing masks. So I don't think they really even care down here. So they just put it in writing that you don't have to wear a mask. I mean, people down here haven't been wearing masks like the whole time, but I have, and I'm still trying to protect myself against spreading the virus and whatnot. And I suggest you do the same, even if it's not a mandate in your state or city anymore. Still, just wear a mask, bro. It's not hard. I'm not gonna sit here and preach to y'all about this because we've been talking about this for a damn year now, a damn year plus. So I mean, if you live your life how you want, I mean, but just have some common decency and concern for other people. That's all I gotta say. All right, so next up in my quick bits is Spiderman 3. It finally got a name for the next movie, and the name is Spider-Man No Way Home. They released a little trailer video with God, what's his name? What is his name? Tom Holland, Zendaya, and I can never remember the other guy. What's his name in the movie? Genki or something like that. And they're all talking about how Tom Holland spoils everything in the movie. So I thought it was funny, and I like how all the titles relate to each other, all about getting home and whatnot. Get Spider-Man home to the MCU so he can stay there. How about that? How about that? Adopt Spider-Man 2021, please. We need. I know they've worked out some deals where they can still use Spider-Man, but I just want him to permanently be a part of the MCU and them not worry about him like getting yanked out, because it'd be the worst time. Like if they get to 3 again and then like it's over with Spider-Man again, it'd be really annoying. Can we just keep a Spider-Man in the MCU, and maybe they can have Sony can have their own Spider-Man, and they can make their own Spider-Man movies just like Miles Morales into Spider-Verse. Maybe they can do that and it won't be a problem, but I think they're so set on having one Spider-Man for that universe. And with the theories about this new movie coming out about how Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to be in there and how the dude that played Doc Ock is going to be there, maybe we do get a Spider-Verse, and maybe that will be a way that Sony can open up their own Spider-Man. I just cracked the code. That's exactly what they're doing. All right. Next story, Joseph Gordon-Levitt joins Pinocchio cast. So apparently they're making a live action Pinocchio, which before like 10 minutes ago, I didn't know this was even a thing. So they're making a live action Pinocchio, and with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I don't know what role he's going to play, but it doesn't matter, but he's in it. So I'm going to watch it. Like, he's one of my favorite actors. So be on the lookout for the live action Pinocchio movie coming. I don't know when. It seems like they haven't even gotten started yet. They're just announcing the cast. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, I didn't think I'd be interested in a Pinocchio movie, but y'all cast the right people and I'll watch whatever y'all put out, Disney. And lastly, in the quick bits portion of this show, the next round of stimulus checks were, I believe they were approved. Don't quote me on that, but the $1,400 stimulus check should be coming out rather soon. I know some people think that wasn't enough money for how long we've been dealing with this COVID virus, but obviously Texas and Mississippi don't give a fuck. So I mean, they're pretty much back to normal. People are going out and not wearing masks everywhere. So hey, you get what you get when states are doing shit like that. All right, so that's pretty much it for the quick bits. And next we're gonna hop into the gaming section. So, oh my god, I've been getting spam calls all day, dude. Sorry, I'm so unprofessional. Get off of my phone. So for PlayStation, the free games for March are Maquette, Maquette. That's for PS5. I have no clue what that game is. I might look into it after. Then, like I always say, it's best to just download these games, have them in, well, not download them, but just click purchase and have them in your library. So if these games ever blow up and you want to play them later, just download them, because it's free games. So you might as well take advantage of it. So Maquette, I'm just gonna pronounce it like that. And Final Fantasy 7 Remake for PS4. It says will not upgrade to Final Fantasy 7 Remake Integrate. So I guess that's the newest one. So yeah, that's free. And Remnant from the Ashes for PS4 and Farpoint for PSVR. Which, if you have a PSVR, we're gonna talk about that more in a second. But those are the free games. Only one free game for PS5, really. So I gotta look into that and see what it's actually about. Next up is the Xbox free games for March. You got Warface Breakout. Sorry if I'm trying to read these names. There's a lot of names on here. That's March 1st to 31st, so the whole month. I don't know why they still do that. They say all that. But Vala is next. Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse. Metal Slug 3 and Port Royale 3. Metal Slug is free from the 1st to the 15th. Port Royale is March 16th through the 31st, and Vala Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse is free March 16th through April. So that's a March through April free game. So those are your free games for Xbox. The only one I've heard of Warface and I've heard of Metal Slug, but these other two games I've never heard of. So I mean, like I said, still download them and they're free. I mean, maybe they'll become popular and they'll actually be populated games later, but I have never heard of those games and I have no interest in them at all. I'm looking for something to give me a reason to, since I have a PC, you can have the Xbox passes on your PC and play the Xbox games, but I haven't found a reason for me to want to do that. So I'm trying to, that's why one reason I shout out the Xbox games, because I'm looking for something for me to play on there too. Granted, I know there's a lot of games in the backlog in the what is it, the Ultimate Pass, whatever it's called. There's a lot of games in the backlog that are free, but I don't know if I want to purchase the $60 pass just to play whatever those old games are that aren't populated, that aren't multiplayer. So yeah, those are free games. Make sure you go check those out. And then obviously there's always free PC games. Go check out Steam, the Epic Game Store, all that. Next up in gaming news, Sony has announced a new slate of PlayStation VR games. I can't talk, I'm sorry. A new slate of PlayStation VR games for later this year. It includes a virtual reality adaptation of Doom 3, as well as titles from a few successful VR studios and a couple of relative newcomers to VR. So the reason I put this story on here is because, like, one, who has a PlayStation VR? And two, like, I feel like, thank God that some news is coming out about a PlayStation VR, because like it seems like Sony really doesn't even support the VR state as it is. Like, yeah, they want to sell the consoles and whatnot, but do they actually put things on here that people want to play? Like, I mean, Doom 3 is probably going to be really good on VR. It'll probably give you a headache, but it's probably going to be really good. But I need them to support and actually put AAA titles like Doom on the PlayStation. So hopefully they'll do more of that in the future, but I don't know. For me to buy a PlayStation VR, I don't know what they would have to do. I don't think I want one. I really don't think I want one. I'd much rather buy like an Oculus or something like that, where they get better games. I mean, right now, to be honest, like VR is in a weird state. Like the barrier to entry is so high, like with the price points of all these headsets and whatnot. It's a luxury. It's a luxury. Like, you can get a PlayStation and just be totally satisfied. But then you look at getting a VR, and I'm just like, I gotta play the same as another console for games that aren't as good at all. Like, what are people playing on VR nowadays? VR chat? That's still like one of the most popular VR games right now. And I know there were some other good ones, but that's the main one that comes to mind is VR chat. So also, Sony announced a new generation PSVR for the PlayStation 5. So the one that's already out is not apparently up to standards for the PS5. So they're releasing a whole nother PSVR for the PlayStation 5. So that's great. So it's gonna have a single cord instead of several cords, I guess, a higher resolution screen, among other upgrades. But Sony hasn't unveiled the headset or offered many details so far, and said the device won't arrive in 2021. So this will be coming later this week, in the decade, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. So lastly, in gaming news, if I can get this article to pull up, here we go. We're gonna watch this trailer together because right before I started streaming, this popped up for Apex Legends, and it's a new Caustic event, and I am very excited about it. So we're gonna take a look at this trailer for this new Apex event. If you guys aren't playing Apex, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So let's take a quick look at it. It is Chaos Theory Collection event. So I already watched it, unfortunately. I was scrolling down Twitter and I like saw it, so I was like, fuck, am I gonna watch it now or make a whole separate video about it? So I might chop this part out and make a whole separate video about my reaction. So we're gonna watch this. If you're watching the video version, if you're listening only, I suggest go and watch the video versions because we're about to watch this trailer. Here we go.
In the end, the strong will filter out the weak.
My boy Caustic got his own event. Let's go. You love to see it. I like that skin.
Between life and death,
I like Caustic skin too.
Is measured by suffering.
Nothing like
Chaos Theory. Let's go. Bangalore's new heirloom got announced. It's some kind of little knife. You can see it right there. Yeah, it's cool, but I feel like somebody else already has a knife. Does Bloodhound have a heirloom yet? I feel like he does. And it's like, I think he does. I feel like someone has something similar already, but that's just me. Sorry. All right, there's a heat shield, projects a dome that protects legends from the ring damage. So that's pretty cool. I guess this is gonna be a new game mode. Town takeover, Caustic treatment. Yes, sir. Caustic gets his own place. That looks like, where is that? Is that World's Edge? Not World's Edge, but
Death awaits.
King's Canyon. This shit looks fire. What kind of bots are they playing against, bro? They didn't even try to shoot him. Yeet!
You believe you don't deserve to die. You overvalue your place.
Look at Watson
in the
looking so
world.
cute. Yes, sir. March 9th, we get the Caustic event. Yes, sir. I'm very excited about that skin. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that trailer. I still don't have the Caustic heirloom, so I'm kind of upset about that. But that is coming, and I'm very excited for it. So March 8th, we'll definitely be on some Apex on my stream, Twitch TV/I'mLeBarbecue, Twitch TV/I'mLeBarbecue. Come check me out. I'll actually be streaming after this recording, so maybe I'll be live when this video goes up. So that's it for gaming news right there. So next up, let's hop into media, what I've been watching, what I've been listening to. All right, so we got to do our usual WandaVision update, and WandaVision is slapping right now. Like, I enjoy the show. My only problem right now is, like, there's no one really to cheer for. If you're caught up, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but if you're caught up, there's really like no, you don't cheer for Wanda, and you don't cheer for whoever she's without spoilers, you don't cheer for whoever she's going against right now. Like, I'm just like, I don't care what happens to either one of these people, to be honest. But it's still a good show. I'm very surprised. I'm not that surprised at the budget that they've gone towards, because you can see some of the editing and some of the CGI that they've done is like Marvel movie quality. So that's very interesting when it comes to that. But the story is still good as always. Like, I'm still gonna say this every time I talk about WandaVision. I fucking told y'all that this show was gonna be good. I remember when this shit was coming out and everybody was like, I don't want to watch Wanda and Vision. No one cares about them. But like, look at us now. Look at us now, bro. Everybody's talking about WandaVision. You know it. You gotta see potential in shows before they come out. Just like Loki, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good show, and all these other Disney Plus shows that are going to be coming out, they're probably all going to be somewhat good quality, because they really want people to watch this platform, so they're going to put their best foot forward. So don't go judging these shows just by the characters that are going to be in it, because Marvel can make you care about Guardians of the Galaxy, they can make you care about Doctor Strange, they can make you care about Iron Man, which nobody cared about before Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. did all that stuff. So like, you got to have an open mind when it comes to this stuff. And that is going to be brought up in the topic for today. Next up, I watched The Sinner, season 4 of The Sinner, which is on Netflix right now. And this is like a guilty pleasure type show. This is a show that no one freaking talks about at all, but I watch every season of it. It's about a detective, and he just detects weird ass crimes that happen, about like murders and stuff. So I watched that. I suggest watching season 1. Season 1 was, to me, the best season. This last season, it was good. It had a engaging story, but compared to the first season and the seasons before that, this is probably, honestly, I don't know if I consider it the worst. I'd probably say season 3 might have been the worst. I have to rewatch it, but it was still a good season. I don't want to put it down, but especially when I'm trying to get y'all to watch the show, it's a good show. Honestly, I hope this is the last season though, because like, I feel like the story's kind of running out. Like, he's investigated 4 seasons of intense crimes, and you can tell like it's taking a toll on him mentally and physically. So I think hopefully that this should be the last season, hopefully. But The Sinner, go check it out. It's on Netflix, and I think it's I forgot what station it comes on, but yeah, it's a good show. Go check it out. And recently, actually of yesterday, we started rewatching 2 Sentence Horror Stories on Netflix, and let me say, this show is decent, but there are hits and there are misses. Every episode does not relate to the last. They're all, I think it's based on a book, according to my wife. I think she said it's based on a book of like 2 Sentence Horror Stories, where it's like legit 2 sentences, but they make a whole episode about those 2 sentences. And sometimes it'll like directly relate to the sentences, and then sometimes it won't. But like I said, there's a lot of hits and a lot of misses. So I enjoy it sometimes, and sometimes I fall asleep or like go on my phone and like not pay attention to the episodes. But it's something good to watch if you don't have nothing to watch. Now for when it comes to listening to new music, I haven't been listening to anything new, but I'm gonna hold myself to this. By the next podcast, I will listen to that newest Lil Yachty album, because everybody keeps saying it's so good. I don't know how new it is, but I think I need to listen to it because everybody's talking about it, and I always wanted to like Lil Yachty, but the last album I listened to by him was not for me. And I wouldn't say it's bad, but it just wasn't for me. So I'm gonna give Lil Yachty another chance and listen to Lil Boat 3. Lastly, in media news, Space Jam 2, they just released an article. I didn't read it, but apparently this movie actually exists. This has been in production for like 2-3 years, so I kind of gave up hope that this movie existed. So I'm looking forward to a trailer and a release date. Hopefully it comes out this year. I'm going to go see it in theaters if it does come out. I'm pretty sure it'll be on HBO Max whenever it does, but I want to go see this movie. It's kind of crazy how much like Jordan LeBron wants to be in Space Jam 2. I feel like he really is the reason that this movie exists. Like, if LeBron probably wasn't pushing for this movie wouldn't exist. And I feel like he just wants to have at least one acting credit. He's been in other movies, like with quick cameos, but I don't think he's never like held down a whole movie being the lead actor. So that'll be interesting whenever it does come out. I'm interested and excited for that to happen. And that's it for media. So let's hop into the life update. Nothing's been going on with me. I've been kind of slacking on YouTube videos, and I'm sorry about that, but like I've been like in a rut when it comes to making finding new content recently. That last video of the fast food tier list, that I just pulled that one out of my ass. Like, I completely forgot I even did that, and I was like, this is YouTube worthy, so I put it in there because I don't like, as of like recently, I don't like, well, I won't say as of recently, I've never liked putting out like trash content. So me in this rut is like per usual, honestly. Like, if I can't find anything good to put up that I think you guys will want to watch, I'm not gonna put it up. So yeah, I had a good weekend, and otherwise, other than YouTube, like with streaming, with content on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'm a barbecue. Everything is down below, or if you're watching the video version. I've been putting up a lot of stuff on Instagram, been trying to tweet more, making TikToks. I've been doing everything, dude. So it seems like I've kind of put YouTube on the back burner subconsciously, but I've always been thinking about what I can do next on whatever platform I'm trying to grow. So yeah, I've been trying to be productive on everything else, but yeah, that's pretty much it for life. I haven't been doing anything. Like, I've just been working and streaming and trying to be consistent with streaming. So that's it. Next up, we got the topic of the day. Man, before we get into the topic, let me always remind you guys that I am not God. What I say is like just my opinion on things. And for this specific topic today, I am not defending anybody that I mentioned. So I just want to let that be clear. And yeah, let's just jump into it. I'm not defending any of these people. I'm just giving my opinions on cancel culture, which is today's topic. Cancel culture is something that I'd say it's within the last like 3 or 4 years, it's been a new phenomenon. So if you live under a rock, I mean, cancel culture is pretty much people jumping on your ass and getting you the fuck up out of here and trying to remove your platform for something stupid you probably did. So that's what cancel culture is. And my question is, like, do I agree with it? Yes and no. That's my answer. Like, do I agree with cancel culture? Yes and no. I say yes because some people deserve it. Some people deserve it. When it comes to SA, I'm not gonna say the two words because YouTube's gonna take my video down. When it comes to like SA and like allegations of that nature, yes, you deserve to be canceled, and that's pretty much a Me Too situation. So I mean, I'm not gonna name any names or bring anybody up, but like, if that's the reason that people are trying to cancel you, you deserve it. So I mean, I'm not defending any of that, obviously, but like, yes, because some people deserve it. Just because, like, some people will make mistakes and then they'll keep making the same. At that point, it's not a mistake if you keep doing it. If you keep doing something stupid and you show no remorse or anything of that nature, then you deserve to be canceled. And I don't feel bad for you at that point. But no, because like, people can change. Like, I feel like my biggest message here with this whole topic is it's circumstantial. Like, it's circumstantial about who gets canceled for why. Do they feel remorse? How long ago was it? Like, people deserve a chance to be forgiven and move on with their lives. And people deserve to have an opportunity to explain themselves too. Like, if you just barraging somebody with cancel culture and they don't even have a chance to respond and things like that, like, I don't know. To me, I just feel like some people should have the chance. And when it comes to deciding who, I feel like you personally, it doesn't have to work on mob mentality, but you personally have to look at the whole situation, look at their response, look at the victim, look at who they're offending, see how they feel about it, and see how long ago this happened. You got to look at all these things in every situation to determine, do you think that this person should still have this platform? And a lot of people, I feel, can't do that. A lot of people will look at the reason that they got canceled and be like, yeah, he's fucking done. Let's get him out of here. And I feel like I was sort of a victim of that too. When it comes to the whole, when it came to the Doja Cat situation, I was like one of the first people like, get her the fuck up out of here, bro. I was like so over Doja Cat in that situation. But looking back on it, I never gave her the chance to explain. I never even looked at her apology. I didn't look at any of that shit. And I was just like, yeah, I'm done with Doja Cat. I'm not listening to her music anymore. But granted, she's still not innocent for everything she did, but she did come out and apologize and try to like explain what happened. So, and I feel like a lot of people can't do that. And that was like my first time like I ever looked into a situation like that. I was like, damn, am I just being like ignorant? Am I just like not looking at the whole situation? And I'm not gonna explain the whole Doja Cat situation. If you want to look that up, that'll be everywhere. I think that happened last year. So yeah, go look at that if you want to. But yeah, man, when some people do get their second chances, like Doja Cat is now on her second chance of being canceled or whatever. And if she does something stupid like that again, then I think she just, I'm not the person to say whether someone deserves their platform or not, because people work to get where they are, man. She's put in a lot of work. She's come a long way in her career. And I'm not just trying to shit on Doja Cat this whole video. When I'm talking about somebody, just imagine I'm talking about everybody that's been canceled for something. Like, like I'm saying, some people get their second chances and they throw it away. I'd say a good example of this is who I wrote down, or the Paul brothers, like Logan and Jake Paul. Like, they've been given so many opportunities to not be shitty people, but they keep doing the same thing. And that's not the only example I wanted to use, but if you look at a lot of the bigger YouTubers or content creators right now, they've all mostly been canceled for some reason. Like, they've all been like accused of doing some stupid shit, but they've all recovered. And the most recent one right now is David Dobrik. He's going through the whole situation of the SA allegations for one of his coworkers. If you want to look in that story, go check out the H3 podcast with Ethan, and I think Trisha Paytas was on their podcast, the Frenemies podcast. They talk about it in depth. So if you want to look at that, go look at that and see what he's being canceled for right now. When it comes to that situation, I feel like, honestly, bro, he enabled SA to happen in his workplace twice, and he was the enabler. Dude, he doesn't deserve this platform. He's like in the upper echelon of content creators, and people are praising him and right now, and no one's really talking about this whole situation. So I suggest you go look at that and do some research about that. But anyway, I feel like people like that have been given opportunities to make their situation known. Honestly, David Dobrik hasn't really come out and said anything about the situation. So when you just ignore the fact that people are upset about a certain situation, that the victim has come out and said that this has ruined his life, like, in situations like that, I do agree with cancel culture. I do think it's necessary to remove this fucker from his platform. Like, if he doesn't give a shit about the people's lives he's ruining, like, why are we still praising this man? Why are we still letting these people do this shit and like not face any consequences of real life? Like, because when it comes to real court, honestly, he could be facing like federal charges, or like not federal charges, but he could be getting sued. Like, the victim could sue him, like, injustifiably. He could be looking at court cases. But until that happens, he's in the court of public opinion. And with you not acknowledging the situation, that makes it even worse. And that makes me want to get you the fuck up out of here and remove your platform if I could. I'm a low level fucking YouTuber. I don't have any power to do that. It's up to the people, really. And in situations like that specific one too, like, looking at all of the evidence that's been brought against him, and honestly, let's let this be known too, the victim has been coming forward for this for years, and people haven't believed him until a clip surfaced of David Dobrik like admitting to doing this to this person. So if you look at all the information brought to you when it comes to this situation, how can you just be like, nah, man, let's just let him keep his platform. He's worked so hard for it. But like, that's the thing. It's circumstantial. Everything with cancel culture, I feel, is circumstantial, and it really goes off your beliefs and what you believe is okay and what you believe is right and wrong. So yeah, and it's crazy that, like, other than Doja Cat, most of the people that I've been thinking of when it comes to this topic that have been canceled for doing stupid shit have been like white content creators, like that. When it comes to the Paul brothers, David Dobrik, Shane Dawson, all these people, like, they have this privilege and this luxury of doing this stupid shit and recovering from it. But like, when it comes to us, it feels like it's so hard to recover. Doja Cat had to take a like hiatus for a hot minute before she came back and did anything. So that's just something that I'm not gonna get into that, but that's just something that I feel like needed to be said, because like, even I don't know which Paul brother said this, because they're the same to me, to be honest, but like one of the Paul brothers said that he understands that he has this privilege of doing this stupid shit and getting away with it because he's white. But because it's true. If a black streamer black content creator went to S forest in Japan and started recording people's bodies, he'd probably never see the light of day again. What is going on with my audio? Sorry. But yeah, I just feel like that needed to be said. I'm not a fan of people who are 100% cancel culture, 100% against cancel culture, because I do feel like it's necessary. It's necessary sometimes, because if you don't acknowledge the things that people are trying to be canceled over, then it becomes more of a problem, and more people think it's okay to get away with this. And like I said with the first thing, like when it comes to SA or Me Too or domestic V, I'm trying to not to get my channel this video taken down, so I'm like hyphenating words and whatnot, but you know what I'm talking about. When it comes to things like that, if you don't acknowledge it, people think it's okay. People really think it's okay. And if these platforms just allow this shit to happen, it's the same thing with like YouTube's guidelines and terms of service. Granted, they're not always perfect, but they get some of the shit out of here and let people know that that's not okay. So I think cancel culture is the same thing, but we're just taking shit into our own hands. And if this makes you think that I'm just like a leftist liberal snowflake, then whatever. Because I'm like for it and against it. Like, I'm not always for people losing their whole careers. Like when it comes to somebody else I'll bring up is Chris D'Elia, because he's about to face a lawsuit right now. And when the whole thing happened with Chris D'Elia, I was just like, sorry. I'm just turning my audio off from my desktop because my audio is doing something really crazy. When it came to Chris D'Elia, I was just like, damn, what he did was wrong, but it wasn't legally wrong. It wasn't legally wrong. And you can kind of compare the two situations to what another white content creator, James Charles, is going through now. And it's both situational, because if you look at Chris D'Elia's situation, everything he was doing was with consent, and if it was with anyone underage, he stopped. When it comes to James Charles, he had all the information there to let him know that this person was underage. Now, that's just me lightly covering the situation without going into too much of their information, but like, those are two different situations, and if you want to cancel one for one and cancel one for the other thing, you have to look at both situations and compare them. So that's just how I feel. That's pretty much how I feel about cancel culture. You got to look at everything. It's circumstantial, and I don't care what else you say about it. But I think social media does play a huge part in all this. It plays the biggest part of all this, and people don't understand. Man, I have a story for this, actually. But first, your past, your tweets, your posts, everything, bro, this stuff is forever. People don't understand that. Like, everything you post is going to be on here forever. Even if you delete it, you think it's gone, I mean, you can still try it. I mean, maybe people won't be able to find it, but that stuff is on the internet, bro. People don't even know. Like, Discord is a pretty safe platform, but every server you've made has like been saved in a database. So if someone really wanted to, I feel like they could find everything that you ever posted on Discord. So anyway, the story I have is I'd say it's about 2 months ago. 2 months ago this happened. Someone randomly tweeted, because they were laughing at something. They tweeted I can't breathe, man. This is so funny. And a 12-year-old in the comments, I believe he was 12 years old, in the comments, because it had it in his bio. He said, "Calm down, George Floyd." And I was like, okay. People were coming after him in the comments, but I literally DM this dude. I was like, "Hey, I know you're a kid, and I know that you think this is funny because you posted it. You think this is funny, obviously, but like, in a few years, if you want to be a streamer," which he actually had his stream in his bio as well. If you want to be a streamer, bro, this is gonna come back to bite you in the ass. Like, I don't know where your parents are. I don't know who let you post this. I don't know why you think this is funny, but you need to delete this shit. And he responded back saying that, "Oh, thank you for reaching out, and I appreciate it, man." And I was like, just delete it. Like, I'm not doing this to like try to be friends with you or anything. I'm just letting you know that this is gonna come back and bite you in the ass in a major way. And he's like, "Yeah, thank you, man." And I was like, okay, he's gonna delete it. I come back the next day, that post is still there, and then he follows me. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? This is a real story. Like, I can give you, I'm not gonna expose his act because he's a minor, but I have screenshots of this, and like, it's so crazy to me that he thought that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna keep it up because, I mean, it'll give me some kind of, people are reaching out to me, it must be working. Like, dude, delete this shit. That is gonna come back. I haven't checked recently if it's still there, but I know like the next week or so, that post of him saying George Floyd was still there. So I'm just like what can you do? Like, what can you do? I reached out to him, told him the consequences, told him how stupid and racist this was, and like, he's still just like I just feel like I should share that story because that really goes to show you how some people think when it comes to these social media posts and what they think they can just get away with and what they think won't come back to bite them in the ass later in life. Because I guarantee you, if he leaves that post up and he becomes somewhat notable in the streaming community or anything, somebody's gonna find that and be like, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Let's get him out of here." So yeah. And just to wrap this all up, because this is getting pretty long, 37 minutes. People get canceled for all kinds of reasons, and some are valid, and then some people are just virtue signaling and want things to coincide with their personal views. How I see it is like, if you can't look at someone's views, beliefs, and opinions and understand, or at least try to see where they're coming from, you're part of the problem too. Like, if you can't be at least open-minded to other people's beliefs, when either it comes to religion, politics, anything, you need to be open-minded when it comes to these things. I say to myself that I'm in the middle when it comes to my political beliefs, because I don't fully support the left or the right all the time. So I can listen to a Republican, I can listen to someone who's on the left and understand completely where they're coming from. And to not be able to do that is a real problem. To just be stuck in your own ways or living in an echo chamber, and everything you see on social media is what you believe in, people that agree with you all the time, that is an unhealthy mindset. And that's something I've talked about on this podcast before. But like, you got to get out of your box, man. You got to get out of your box and like be open and listen to other people. If you don't do that, then you're just going to be like regurgitating the same bullshit that other people say. So yeah, that's it. Again, I am not defending any of the people that I've named. If they did some fucked up shit, then hey, they deserve to lose their platform. I don't care. But like I said, I'm not defending any of these people, but those are just my opinions on cancel culture in general. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I appreciate it. You're the best. Just leave a comment and let me know what you think about my views on cancel culture. If any of this made sense. I know I was kind of rambling for a little bit, but I just feel like I need to get that off my chest, because this, I don't think cancel culture is the biggest problem right now, but I do think it's somewhat of a problem. That's why I agree and disagree with it. I don't feel like everyone needs to be canceled for something that really well, I want to say there's victimless crimes, but it's all circumstantial. That's all I'll say. It's all circumstantial. Just like with that country singer doing that, saying the N-word the other day. I know some black people that are defending him. Like, and I'm just like, his music has actually skyrocketed. But anyway, I'm done. That's it for me today. I appreciate everybody watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Rate this 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and I'll see you guys next time for the next Hold That Thought podcast. Goodbye.
Yes, sir. Did you like that video? Me too, because I made it. I know it's good. If you did like that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Make sure you have that bell turned on for notifications for when I make a new video. Also, you can catch me on any of the socials down below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those. I'm on there. That's it. See you guys later.